Okay, here we go. Another day, another cup of coffee. Now, try and get my voice lubricated here and in gear. We are way ahead in the manual here on step 69. And why am I on step 69? Well, I wanted to find out what is it that goes right here. And I'll move over here and I'll show you why I wanted to know that in a minute. But what I want to show you now is something that I found really interesting. I paged ahead in the manual enough to find out that this piece is what goes on. But when I tried to find out, okay, what sprue do I look at to find this piece, like here's the first time it shows in the manual, and this is F9. It doesn't say F9 anywhere on here. Now, because it was so obvious, I mean, it only took me about a moment to find it anyway. I knew that because we had to make 3 of these, it probably was on a sprue that there was 3 of, and there's 3 Fs. So I mean, and it's anyway, more information than you need. Okay, let's move over here and move in nice and close to this pedestal here, and I'll show you why it was. I was wondering what it is that goes here. Now, yesterday afternoon, I did come back to the model table, and I did give the second coat. And this morning I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, I'm seeing a little bit of in behind where this one box is going to go. It looks a little bit kind of blotchy, and I was thinking, maybe I should take my little brush and just touch that up. But then I realized that we're going to be putting a box right there anyway, something like that, and nobody's going to be able to see down in behind there that it's not perfect. And then I was noticing that right here, I have touched the pedestal with the 77. And this pedestal is the number 22. And I thought, oh, that's too bad. I made a bit of a mess there. And I was thinking, well, how big is the thing that goes on here? Well, it turns out it's this thing right here. And this is actually the first time I'm going to try and put it on. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, there. So it goes on like that. This is the platform, I guess you'd call it, for some sort of special, I believe it's an anti-aircraft gun. When we actually get to that step, we'll look it up and see what it actually looked like in reality. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is that no matter how hard you try, you can't see that I've made a boo-boo there with the paint. So, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time trying to fix something that nobody's ever going to see anyway. It'd be like the staircase in my Titanic that I built that nobody can see. Looked great at first, but it was all in my head, I guess. Okay, so, yeah, I think that we're not going to bother with this. I'm going to just put it back in the little baggie, and we'll save it until we get to step 69. I think possibly we can put these on. I want to take out a couple of minutes and try and find the photographs or the pictures that viewer was talking about, where he said that he thought that the tops of these, at least I think he meant these boxes, the tops of these boxes. He called it the magazine. Now I guess this is sort of like a magazine. I thought it was an ammo box, but anyway, let's just go back to the computer and see, can we see what did Stefan Drabinsky color his boxes that he did? And he's probably more right than anybody. Well, more right than me anyway. Okay. Okay, I think I've got to apologize to Stephen here because obviously I misunderstood him. As we go over the decks of the ship here, we can see that the tops of the boxes are not black. Yeah, Stephen, I apologize. You must have been talking about something else. Um, okay, let's just watch the rest of this here. It's pretty interesting. Some of you have already seen this, I'm sure, but oh, wait a minute. There's some black. Um, okay. I'm just going to back this up a little bit here. Okay, here is the section that we were looking at. Here is that special gun that I showed you the base of. I guess you'd call it the base or platform. Here is one of those boxes. Uh, Clearly, it's basically the same color gray as everything else. Now, that does not mean that it was never black. Um, okay, unless you notice, see where the cursor is pointing now. You see on the barrels here. Did you possibly mean this part of the barrel? Now, I remember looking at these, weeks ago, I guess, and wondering why they were the shape they were. I had wondered, is that maybe some kind of a water jacket that went around the barrel to help cool it? Just a thought. I don't know what else it could be for. Like, why would they have it like that? Water jacket makes sense to me. Maybe some of you actually know for sure. I've noticed that on the quad guns, the 50 caliber quad guns that we built. In the pictures, they were black as well. Steve, maybe that's what you were talking about. Maybe I could paint those black. Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, isn't this a fantastic drawing? Unbelievably realistic. Now, as long as we have this piece stuck on the turntable here nice and handy, we may as well continue on. Ooh, I think I put too much on again. See if I can get that box on there now without the extra thin wicking its way down onto the deck. This may or may not work. Okay, once that dries out, I think it's going to be welded together pretty good. I should have checked to see which side of the box looked the best. Mind you, the gun assembly is going to go right here and hide most of the box anyway. Okay, let's do the other one the same way. First of all, just get it broke loose here. I shouldn't really be touching it with my fingers. Okay, we'll get it, just do a dry run here, make sure it's going to fit. Yeah, that's going to fit. In one of Nigel's recent episodes, he was talking about these bottles of extra thin, and he was saying something about if you don't have your bottle of extra thin all the way full, you can have better results with it. I can't talk, I gotta work here. Okay, yeah, you can see that wicking down. Anyway, the idea was that if the bottle is down just a little bit, the extra thin is not coming all the way up. Maybe you should be watching what he's. You know what? Go on Nigel's channel and listen to what he said. He's going to tell it a lot better than I can ever begin to here. But yeah. Okay, now this little guy here. All right. Now, I would assume that the hinges should go to the back, and the little handle thingy should be at the front here. Let's do a dry run, make sure it's going to fit. I think we can get it down on there. Okay, got to fix that. Okay, this one I'm going to do different. I'm going to maybe, there, for sure I got it. All right, now we got it the right way, yeah. Uh-oh. Well, there we go. Oh, that was too much, wasn't it? There must have been quite a bit stuck up inside there. Well, you know what? I think once that dries out, evaporates out of there, it's going to look okay. Not perfect, but it'll be okay. Okay, now this ladder, and I want to be careful how I pick it up so that I don't chip off the oxidation. Now, the idea is it is supposed to go right back there, and then I'm assuming that this part would be touching the deck, but I don't want to put it in place until we actually get this piece fastened down on the deck. Then I can get the height just right. And also this ladder, the top at the top section that you see here, the top millimeter, I guess you might say, it bends at 90 degrees. But we will wait until we get this piece mounted on the deck. However, I think we can go ahead now and okay, I'll reposition the camera, of course. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but it'll do for the moment. Now, I do believe I have to tighten up the radius on these railings just a tiny bit. Well, I certainly did not have this in the frame very good, did I? Yeah, I gotta tighten it up just a little bit. It kind of wants to sort of fall off the side there. The only other thing I could do maybe is, what if I was to put a little bit of CA thin and fasten it right there? against this box, and then after it's cured, then I could sort of push this into place. You know, it's almost right. It's almost right. Well, maybe just a little bit tighter. Now, I have learned the hard way that it is really important to have whatever it is that you're trying to make round at perfect right angles to whatever it is you're using to roll. Otherwise, it tends to corkscrew on you instead of rolling up. Now, this is not perfect as it is. We just want to make it just a little tighter here. I'm thinking that this is probably going to work. You see here how it kind of pressed into the cloth, so I know I was getting lots of pressure there. Okay, I wasn't noticing it coming together, but let's just give that a try and see what happens. Oh my, I really took a lot of paint off, didn't I? Well, we're going to have to repaint anyway. Now, mind you, this is this is the underside, and you know, the spray was coming from the top, so I'll just have to make sure I get it this way up on that little part that we're going to put on. Okay, the whole idea is that this should be a little tighter together. Well, let's try it. Okay, did we make it better? Once again, this is actually the first time I'm trying it. Oh, what's that on there now? Where's my paintbrush? Oh, you know what that was? That was a little chip of paint that had come off of the railing. Okay, here we go again. Just try and get a good grab on it here. Yeah, I think we improved it. It's just sort of staying there all by itself right now. All right, now maybe it could actually come forward just a little bit. Although it'd probably be a lot stronger if it was fastened to the boxes. But I want it to look, you know, centered on everything. Okay, now let's get our CA. Should we use the medium? Yeah, I think probably the medium, because the thin will have a tendency to flow all over the place. One of these I remember I had to touch up along the edge here. It was... Oh, we're not going to see it anyway. Okay. I don't have any CA on my applicator here yet, but I just want to show you where I usually have a problem. What will happen is I will come along, and as soon as I try to touch it down and adhere it wherever, the little tiny part, because it is so light, will stick to my applicator, and when I pull the applicator away, it takes the part with it. Now, I'm just sort of wondering if I would prefer, if I could, to glue it from the inside, and that way the little blob of CA, and there will be a blob, won't show as if I was to do it from the outside. Now, my thinking is, if I could rig something up that would lay across the top here. Now, I know I'm making a mess, but it would lay across the top and help hold it down. You know, kind of like, you know, like the holder downer that we used to use on the Bismarck. Oh, no, now I've stretched it. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, we're back. I don't think it was as bad as I thought it was. Okay. I'm probably going to have to do this brace thing or whatever off camera. Oh, come on. Okay, I think we've got it almost as good as we had it 10 minutes ago or whatever. Now, this toothpick is kind of flattened out on one side, so it won't have a tendency to roll off. Now, I'd like to be able to put something right in the center of there so that when it presses down equally on both sides. Now I think we can probably use our Bismarck holder downer. Okay, those of you who were with me a year ago, you'll remember this thing as the holder downer, and I have not tried it yet. At least not on this. But the idea is I should be able to very precariously just let this down All right, now we've got our little railing held down, and we'll get our glue ready, and I'll put the macro lens back on, and we'll see, can I touch the railing with the glue and not have it stick to the applicator, the railing that is. Now everything is pretty much the way you saw it before, except that I've had to twist everything around about 90 degrees here so I could get the camera in. There we go. From this side here, because I want to just adhere just this one side. Okay, so here we go. Now let's try not to bump anything. I don't think I had anything on the applicator. Try it again here. I don't think I'm getting anything. Maybe the CA isn't deep enough in my reservoir. Okay, I got it that time. I'm sure you can see it too. Okay, let's let that cure. Then we can go around and do the other side. I'm thinking that about 5 minutes has passed here now, and I think that we've got that other end fastened down. Okay, let's give it another 5 minutes. I'm guessing a little over an hour has passed now while I edited out those last few scenes. And at the end of the last scene, I looked to see that my pliers here were just about ready to fall off the table. I actually had not noticed that. It's a good thing I didn't bump anything here. Now, very, very gently, we should be able to take this off. All right, now let's get a little bit of CA just at the front there. I don't think it has to be saturated too much, just a little bit. Now I'm going to want to glue this one from the back. Now I would think that railing is still being pressed down on the deck. Okay, that should be good enough. I'm going to be doing this one off camera, but I'm probably going to be doing it almost exactly the same as I did the other one, hopefully with less problems. Yeah, definitely we're not going to be getting on to the next step, turning the page today like I thought we might, but I think we will tomorrow. No promises. Things always seem to take me longer than I think they will. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.